Good morning, fellow explorers. Today I am investigating the remains of a town in Massachusetts that no longer exists. It was called Dana, Massachusetts. Most of the town was flooded to build a giant reservoir, one of the largest reservoirs in the US, called the Quabbin. But there's a historic common up ahead. I think there might be some ruins too. It's a beautiful fall day. I'm gonna go check it out. The road is very precipitous, to use a fancy word. It's one lane. I seriously hope no one starts coming at me in the other direction because there's nowhere to pull over here. Google Maps wants me to go up that. I don't think so. It's a beautiful fall day, everyone, and I'm walking around the old Quabbin Reservoir. There are lots of roads that just kind of come to a stop or come to a gate that used to go into the town of Dana and Enfield all around the lake. I stopped at one at a gate. I'm walking up to the lake now down a road I've never been before. The colors are popping. What I think I might do for sunset is go to another old logging road up towards the top of the reservoir called Soapstone Hill and shoot the sunset from there. It's probably the best vantage point in this park. I guess I should probably explain what happened here. Back in the 1920s and 30s, they made a huge reservoir here that involved flooding 3 or 4 different towns. 2 of them became completely disincorporated, Dana and Enfield. Dana was the setting of an H.P. Lovecraft novel. So there are ruins of kind of the old town foundations of houses and stuff. There were entire villages that they basically picked up and moved. There are roads that just go into the reservoir. There's like all cemeteries and stuff. They got moved, but some headstones are still there. It's all very creepy, and it's a ton of land that you can just walk around and explore. Walking through what's left of Dana, there are a lot of these old stone hedgerows, which used to mark property barriers back in like 1600s, 1700s. It's difficult to think this was all populated land and farmed and stuff. It's also desolate now. That trail is Carter Road, and we're on Hell Huddle Road. It's interesting they preserved the old names from the town, even though they disincorporated the town. I'm finally coming upon Quabbin Reservoir, which is right here. It's huge. This map is kind of confusing, but the Quabbin is all this area in the dark blue contour. It kind of makes a giant U shape, and that's on purpose. The water actually, I think, starts here and slowly flows around this whole loop before finally exiting, and it takes something like 3 years for the water to migrate. It's part of the deliberate filtration process. We're down here near the lower end of the lake, the southeast end, where Enfield used to be. I think we've kind of moved up into the Dana territory. Where I want to shoot the sunset is in Petersham, Soapstone Hill, which is way up here. I think it might actually be that right there. You can come fish here and recreate here with my permit. Look how big it is. It's like being at the Great Lakes. I'm gonna walk over along the shoreline up there. It looks much more wild. It's interesting to see how the shoreline evolved when they flooded the dam and flooded the whole area. Because this was never a beach, this was never part of the ocean. So this building is actually a shelter. Look, they have a little stove in there, little place to cook and have running water, and they have all this firewood out in front. How cute is that? I'm gonna head up to Petersham, catch the sunset and see what's going on. I just left the parking lot for the trailhead for Soapstone Hill here in Petersham. As you can see, first you have to go by that gate and you just walk down this long Jeep path for, I think it might be a mile or so. And then we'll come up on the intersection of the trail, which takes you right up the ridge. Eventually, this dirt road we've been walking on starts to turn to pavement, really old pavement. You can tell this must have been a road with one of the towns that was flooded, the way it's just cut off like this. And there's an intersection here. I've never actually gone this way because I've only ever bushwhacked to the top of Soapstone Hill, but there's a path here that goes along this brook. I'm not gonna take that because I remember when I bushwhacked, I had to forge through this brook. And there's another old forest road that goes off here. That's definitely in the wrong direction, so I'm just gonna keep going forward. Went too far. I should have taken one of those earlier turns, apparently. I considered bushwhacking to the top from here, but the brush on this side of the mountain is so thick. It would take me an hour to bushwhack just a half mile in that. So I'm gonna backtrack and hopefully there's still enough time to catch the sunset. I've got maybe 20-25 minutes left. I'm back at this junction. Instead, I'm gonna go up this trail I bypassed before, 37-2. Well, at least has a marker. Trail starts off very scenic. You go past this little pond and stream that, like I said, I've bushwhacked before. It's just a stream again up once you get past that pond. But this trail is much nicer to walk on. It's that old Jeep path. And since it's getting pretty dark, my back is kind of hurting and I just wasted 45 minutes getting lost. I'm glad to have a well-marked trail, you know. Trail comes to a junction right here. This seems to just stay at grade level and go around the pond. So I'm gonna take this, which looks like it's going right up to the top of Soapstone. Yep, this is definitely what we want. This is going right uphill. I think I can even see the Soapstone Hill ledge right up there. There's the trail. I just passed by this deep, it almost looks like a quarry hole. Yeah, so here we are, summiting the top of the hill. It's a much shorter walk than I expected, but this is definitely the ledge that I shoot at. I remember it vividly. Normally bushwhack from right over there where the parking is. Today I did a kind of long U-turn type thing. And I got lost, but you know, half the fun of doing this is just getting lost. Going down some path you never went down before. Sometimes you just gotta get a reason. Again, I should have gone with my instinct. I ducked all over the place with my tripod trying to find a good foreground that isn't just dirt and rock. Decided to just go with this stump since that's all there really is. Unfortunately, I missed the golden hour because of my shenanigans getting lost down there, but still, might get some great pink light in a few minutes. Coming down the way I came up, and can you hear all that? The frogs. I love that sound. I love those little amphibians. I love walking at twilight. I've been up the top of Franconia Ridge in New Hampshire a couple dozen times. Walked down in the dark at least a dozen times. I love it so much. There's just something so peaceful about this time of night, day, night, whatever it is. Let's do a little pano here. That right there is the Quabbin Reservoir, and that's the trail. We go that way, back to the parking lot. Back at that trail junction. There's the Quabbin. The light is probably kind of weird. I'm in my car right now. Maybe you can see. It's looking at the front. So I kind of got lost on the trail, went 2 miles in the wrong direction, then had to backtrack 2 miles. So by the time I got to the top of the hill, I missed the sunset. I got some blue hour light. I got great exercise, you know. Getting lost is fun, so I'm not bummed about it. I think I'm actually gonna come here in the morning and try to do that hike before sunrise. I really want to get a shot from there with great light this time of year. I just never have. So let's figure out how to get home, even though I have no signal out here. Here we go.